E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Welcome back. Game number 2 here between DC and Enemy. I'm Durka in the JD Studios, and the patch, in true Valve fashion, hits mid-series. It's a little bit of nerfing, a little bit of buffing. I don't think we'll see anything majorly different though in this draft. People are just gonna, keep it regular, keep it standard for now. No need to read the patch notes or change anything up. Still ban out the Invoker in the first phase, but it's time to welcome in my lovely, esteemed friends, my wonderful woman on stats. Lurker is here, as well as Motpax, my co-caster, joining me tonight. Did you get to read through them? What are your thoughts? Initial ideas?
6.86 Reddit, I guess. Seems to be most of the community complaints have been dealt with in a lot of senses. Many of the recommendations for the better scaling on the early phase for Alacrity, so I like that. So far, I think that was the big one, was just Invoker. And some of those other heroes like Ricky and things getting a little bit of buff. OD getting a little bit of a buff. Yada, yada, yada. So
Death
interesting to see how they play out. Yep, DP. But for now, I think it makes sense just still ban the Invoker, Gyro. Like, yeah, they got touched, but we don't really know to what sort of degree they were tweaked. And, well, so far for this draft, at least the big thing I'm seeing is, yeah, they got the Darkseer first for EnemyGG and the immediate counter with the Nyx Assassin Witch Doctor from Digital Chaos. Like, I know a lot of teams love Nyx versus Darkseer. We talked about it a couple times already. In terms of how you can mess up the combo with the Carapace and everything like that, and also gank him when he's iron shelling and, everything like that. But it's impressive to me that they have so much stock in it that they're going to take it immediately overall. They don't want to risk it being banned out in the second phase.
Yeah, the majority of the times, people talk about sort of overpowered heroes and stuff like that, but in professional play, and especially at the sort of higher levels, it's about fitting those heroes into a draft or into a strat, rather than just saying, hey look, we got X hero, we win automatically. So even though Invoker got nerfed, there's still the fact that, okay, laning phase goes a little worse for him, but he still pumps out a ton of damage with the Alacrity onto other heroes that can get buffed up, and that's why you still see heroes like Terrorblade banned out by DC. They know that EnemyGG plays it, they know that the Abaddon is very highly prioritized by them as well. And even the Shadow Fiend from EnemyGG not letting Yawa getting his hands on that. Wind Ranger is a little bit interesting though. But I guess with the mid heroes getting banned out and focused very heavily here from EnemyGG, what's actually left for DC?
10 seconds remaining.
That's a pretty good question. I guess they do obviously have a couple of ways to go with either TC taking some in the mid lane. There's still the Queen of Pain, which is something I know he loves to take. So we could see that still come out not too bad against the Night Stalker. Like if you build Agnums or something like that and get a little bit beefy. Obviously the silence messes up most mid heroes like Ember Spirit and everything like that is also still in the pool. But with that early aggression, and you've already committed to a Nyx Assassin, which I assume is going to be Bulba in the offlane role as a core, you have to kind of think their draft's certainly not as obvious as the game previous, which is obviously going to be nice. But I'm imagining safer lanes, like not a Morphling. Like you understand what happened with an Ogre Magi and an Abaddon, and it's going to be the same thing coming now with Night Stalker Darkseer.
Dire team pick.
Well, they've let the BSG Ursa go through, which is kind of interesting. A lot of teams have been taking that out of the pool. They go back for the Dragon Knight again.
Radiant team
So put
pick.
TC on the DK mid once more. Have Yawar on something a little bit different
Oh,
this
that's
time.
core.
As Vengeful
Dire
Spirit
team
for
pick.
EnemyGG. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I think that's a position 1 because they have run that before.
The BSJ Venge.
I think they might have traded off. Maybe I don't think I'm thinking of another team. Yeah, they ran it support, but they did it with a Drow lineup. That's what it was. Okay, so maybe they haven't run it as an actual position 1 core yet.
So we could be looking.
So it looks that way.
I mean, with Drow lineups, you don't necessarily need
10 seconds
5 ranged
remaining.
heroes. We saw a lot of teams running, 3 ranged heroes plus 1 or 2
5
tanky
seconds
brawlers.
remaining.
Darkseer and Nightstalker could work pretty nicely here. And okay, DC with a Luna. I mean,
Radiant team
partially
pick.
maybe a little bit of a block pick against EnemyGG. Drow Luna, relatively interchangeable. Ember Spirit, there for your
Dire
mid.
team ban.
So maybe not the Drow then this time around. But Ursa is still there, and I think DC, you've got to look at that very carefully between Ursa and Slark and realize that BSJ is very competent on both of those heroes.
Yeah,
10
I'm actually feeling
seconds
good about
remaining.
either of those right now, honestly. We've got the ban out on the Wind
5
Ranger too,
seconds
so someone
remaining.
who's pretty decent up against the Ursa as well. And for Digital Chaos, it's probably just going to be a support pick last, so
Reserve
their
time.
draft is essentially done. They might go for something that can roam well with the Nyx Assassin or something that can... Or, I mean, there's always the potential they go back for the support. Hey, there's the Bear ban. Good stuff there,
Radiant
Durka.
team
But yeah,
ban.
we saw what he could do on that thing the
Oh,
other
God.
night.
Yeah,
DC not taking any chances.
nightmares, absolute nightmares, that BSJ Ursa. It's made of them. So EnemyGG, final hero's likely going to be a support for Digital Chaos. Nyx, like you said, Bulba
10
off lane,
seconds
Witch Doctor
remaining.
+1. What is that +1? A Rubik? Maybe?
5 seconds
Would
remaining.
you want some... I guess here, with the Nyx being like a pseudo-initiator, he gets in with the Vendetta. Dragon Knight's pretty
Reserve
good with the
time.
long-range initiation. Maybe something, like an Earth Spirit or a Spur Breaker in that 4 role would be decent. Just adding another tool of initiation into your arsenal. Or do you want to go for more sustain and keep yourselves alive through it? Oh,
About like an
Disruptor.
IO.
Dire
Io
team
Luna?
pick.
Yeah?
Honestly, like, even that's pretty nice for the relocating stuff, moving around with the Nyx Assassin, but it's just still such a solid hero. Like, you don't have to do Tiny or Sven or Ursa. Can still offer a lot if you have competent players, which is something that they, certainly would have between, likely going to be 1437, but I could certainly see that being an option. And the ban on the Disruptor also good. We've always see that up against the
10
Night Stalker when he's
seconds
diving
remaining.
early. Something that Io might not be able to handle as well. You might be looking for more of a hard
5
lockdown stun.
seconds remaining.
Some of those more defensive options. So
Bring out the Chen.
yeah, the Chen or the
Reserve
Enchantress
time.
or something here for them.
Oh, I can see it working. Chen Enchantress with the Lunar Blessing, Dragon Knight, Witch Doctor. We've got a good way of getting into these fights and really shoving into the towers pretty nicely. There we go.
Oh, easy. Well, there you go.
Radiant
So they're ready to
team
go for the
pick.
push. Dragon Knight, Luna Chen. That's a classic, man. That's like a
TI3.
NIF used to do that all the time. They even in like the post TI4 era, it might have been post TI4 before TI5. We saw a lot of NIP Luna Chen, and it was terrifying. They went like 12-2 or something, if I recall. It was something ridiculous. They were like unstoppable when they went with that combo. So I can definitely see this working out
10
extremely
seconds
well. And
remaining.
Nyx Assassin's nice in those kind of lineups too, right? Because he can kind of move up ahead
5
and maybe you get one
seconds
pick
remaining.
and boom, there goes your tower.
We have the same issue again for EnemyGG. Where's their
Reserve
D
time.
push? Where's the hero that stops these pushes in? Okay, game number 1, they did pretty decently. Digital Chaos gave away what was a very good draft and pushing into these towers and trying to bait the fight in. EnemyGG kind of just outlasted them. They didn't need to push or de-push the waves, they just ran into them and made sure they could brawl through. Maybe that's something they look to do here, but in that case, I don't know. The trouble is, they've got Night Stalker in this 4 role. Venge is a support. They're looking for likely, a safe lane or a mid here, if they swap the Ember Spirit out. So they can't go for like an AA. They can't go for something like that necessarily. So it's kind of a difficult spot to be in. Having, maybe wanting a hero that gives you sustain like a Dazzle potentially,
10
or having
seconds
someone like an
remaining.
AA that really halts and hinders these pushes in.
Slog.
And go with the BSJ Slark. So that's going to be the Taskmaster, the guy that runs in behind, finds these supports in the back end, the Witch Doctors and the Chens. Try and pick them off sort of 20-25 minutes in and stop the pushes that way by backstabbing, rather than directly approaching
I've got to
stopping the
say,
push
man,
into towers.
I've seen so many games where teams lose with Slark, just like they lost that last game with Morphling for the exact same reasons, where you just get a slow start, you don't get any kills, and you don't have a lot to offer if the rest of your team's not doing that well. Like the Morphling last game, and we saw this happen to BSJ the other night on the Slark. Like he just got dumpstered in lane, and I understand that he feels very comfortable on the Ursa and the Slark and stuff like that, and maybe he will be able to prove us wrong. But to me, I feel like there are just so many heroes that would fit better in this situation. I feel like he's trying to pigeonhole a Slark. Like he's just trying to like shove it into a game where it doesn't need to be. So hopefully they'll be able to make it work, but it seems very risky in my eyes.
Just pick me Slark, boys. Just pick me Slark.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know. Well, there's not a lot of AoE, I suppose, unless he gets locked down by some Centaur stomps or something like that, and going to be playing with quite a bit of that fog and running from those eclipse beams and using Shadow Dance and whatnot.
That's very true. But if they start things off with like a Nyx Assassin initiation into, you know, Luna mini stuns, things like that, things could be pretty rough for him, but we'll find out. So starting things off, the TP towards mid, 1437, once again, going to get his early Observer Ward down into the enemy jungle. Loomdun does exactly the same thing. And it's not just Witch Doctor he goes double mangoes on. Vengeful Spirit, double mango tango. That's the start for him. Witch Doctor single mango. I mean, mango is just so popular now. It's insane. Just let's open it up actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mangoes.
It's just like when you keep seeing all these buffs where you're getting random +2, +2.5 or something like that HP regen to your offlaner heroes that people want to get back into those offlanes like Nyx Assassin, you know, Ogre Magi and stuff like that. And so the only counter for a support in order to trade effectively is to just stack these mangoes and you get a little bit of their own. It's expensive, but it certainly does a lot of work when it comes to the trading game and trying to zone them out of your lane.
What is Nyx's HP? Is it like 6 with 2 mangoes? 5.2 or something?
Sorry, what was that?
Nyx Assassin. What's Nyx Assassin's base HP regen? Is it like 3.2?
I think 3.2 is the one that comes to my mind immediately, so maybe.
So it's like 5.2 with double mangoes. I mean, that's crazy stuff. Well, Frozen. Nightstalker boots up at level 1. Tangos for himself. Dar Observer Ward's placed pretty early on, actually, watching top rune spot as well as transitioning to this jungle area down at the Radiant side. 1 bounty apiece for the mid laners. There's going to be Sovereign off lane on that Darkseer with the Nightstalker. And last night, you know, you were talking about the kind of abuse of this camp. Set off from that off lane where Nightstalker gets an Iron Shell, stacks and farms it himself, gets to level 3 pretty quickly. And then you have like 2 3-roll heroes here. And not just a level 1 Nightstalker running around. Mid, Yawar against Slayer, DK against Ember Spirit. So it's going to be TC's Luna heading down towards bot lane with 1437's Witch Doctor, and then AUI Chen in his own jungle. So a little bit of an interesting kind of laning setup here from DC, and the switch up already. BSJ does not want to be against Witch Doctor Luna.
Yeah, well, you can see the power of that. Pushing him like we talked about earlier. 18 games together, so obviously a very nice tri-core to have in terms of the push, and 78% win rate when you stack them all up. And of course, this is just something that's been reliable. It's over multiple patches. It's just the whole flavor of these heroes working together. So DC going to be looking to take a little bit of some historic strategies here and apply them to a 6.86 game. And I certainly think they have the draft for it, but at the same time, there definitely is the bounce back potential with an Ember Spirit getting the Battle Fury, and of course, if BSJ just goes off or something like that with the Iron Shells.
So they move Slark up the top with the Nightstalker, but already AUI comes in with a Satyr, and it's going to start zoning these little lads out. Slark, yeah, not going to have a fun time no matter where he goes. And this is the trouble. Slark in the very early laning stage doesn't have a great time against people who can kind of just nuke and spam him out of lane, which is, you know, both side lanes basically. Then you go to mid, well, your Ember needs mid. He's up against his Yawar DK. He's going to have his bottle soon. The Dragon Knight went for that relatively fast one. Quelling Blade, pull Tango. The bottle up now. He's going to be able to outspam with a level 2 Breathe Fire, but top rune's going to be contested here by Frozen. I think Yawar should still be able to get this. The battle of the clicks. Who gets it first? Come on, stun. There we go. DK, Arcane Rune. And now maybe looking at a kill actually as Frozen. One has boots, the other does not. Dragon Knight just going to walk himself away. But it's rune control here from Digital Chaos. As enemy not really getting too much out of the map. And
yeah, this is, I don't know. Sovereign, like he's kind of messing around with these little side camps too. They might be able to play off of that using the iron shells. BSJ is going to have a, I don't know, like what is he going to do? He can't go up and last hit right now. Bulba can trade way more effectively with him. There's only one tango and a salve left for BSJ, and Bulba's still got 3 tangos and the double mangoes. And with Aoi just sitting here babysitting effectively. TC's bullying loomed him. This is looking very good for DC so far.
Just look at the last hits, honestly. That just tells... It's so rare that just the last hit chart at 3
Look at
minutes
BSJ under his tower. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's so rarely that the last hit chart tells you the full story of the laning stage 3 minutes in. But it does. Ember Spirit is doing very well mid against Yawa's DK, but that's expected. You know, Flame Guard and Searing Chains is pretty damn strong. BSJ, 4 last hits and 3 denies. Then you've got like Bulba, TC, and Yawa, all up at the top. I mean, okay, AUI is farming jungle creeps, but he's still doing pretty nicely for himself. It's an insane amount of gold influx here for Digital Chaos, as they have taken a massive stranglehold on all of these lanes. But what's to stop them? What is that, you know, one rotation? What is that one timing to go and really put a halt to this dominant performance? Is it first night? Is it the Night Stalker's job?
we might actually see, I guess, straight up 5 hero rotation. It'll probably have to be remnants into chains. 4 to 5 heroes coming down to a lane and trying to gank TC if the lane gets pushed too far, which is something that can certainly happen with the aura and everything like that. You get up closer to the tower. If you're not going to Iron Shell the creep wave, Sovereign could allow it to happen, and that might be the recourse coming in like 2 minutes or so.
So every single rune, bar the bounty rune at the start of the game, has been taken here by Digital Chaos. Witch Doctor's getting every single bot rune. AUI is rotating with Chen up the top to help this Dragonite get hits. Up at top, Bulba has been held in place a little bit, but BSJ does not have a pounce, and he's going to get mana burnt down and clicked out by AUI. They went aggressive into Bulba, but they were not expecting AUI to come in with the damage and lockdown that he did with Centaur plus Satyr. Vengeful Spirit's rotation just not working out. Now it's the Night Stalker's turn. He needs level 3. He needs these Iron Shells from Sovereign as well, but who's his target? That's the biggest question. Who does he run at?
Well, he's been just kind of making... He's been moving around too much on the map. He's been mid, he's been top, he's been bot now. Only level 2. Can't get enough points into 100 the Night or the Void whenever he wants to. I don't know. Like, you've got these heroes that they're not escapable or anything. If you could get on them, you're going to stay on top of them, but DC, they're controlling the lanes, they're dominating the top map matchup as well. I don't really know what the recourse will be, and now Yawa even going to be putting on some damage here on Slayer in the mid. I don't think this is kill worthy now, it'll just be harassing him out here.
We had this exact same topic of conversation last night when Enemy were playing against Complexity, and BSJ picked Slark, I think it was game 2.
Yeah.
And he was there with like 15 minutes, he just finished his Aquila Treads. 15 minutes in, he gets Aquila Treads, and we're sitting there thinking, he should have at least half his Shadow Blade by now. This is when he wants to, want to close the deal and get that first initiation item. As mid changes, Yawa's DK in a lot of trouble as a stun comes out from Lumdon. They'll finally get their name up on the board. Killing off that Dragonite mid.
Yeah, it's a little bit foolish.
If Slark can't snowball, he can't get that firm grasp on the game where he can just go and solo kill support after support and win team fights by getting that initial pick off. He has to be so much more like Weasley and dip and dive and get in and out of these team fights. As maybe now onto Bulba, Frozen is level 3, but it's just not enough damage. Look at this 11 HP regen with the Tango up.
Hey, sounds Vendetta too. Like, what are they? They're hoping.
Is he gonna go for this kill?
Oh, that would have been so good.
The pounce dodges both stomps. With Frozen. AUI, uncharacteristic miss there. And that Stalker will get away. Middle lane though, that's where we're looking again as Yawa. Initiated on by Slayer, but 1437 is there with a cast to stop any further aggression. BSJ is playing Possum. Watch him flip the script and kill him.
Get him.
Just lure DC into a false sense of security, like, yep, you've beaten us in the laning phase, and all of a sudden, snap, flick the switch.
It's BSJ Dota right there, man. Don't sleep on these brown boots magic wand. Oh, sorry, stick. Sorry.
Oh.
I don't mean to insult.
I mean, he dodged the stun. Bulba doesn't hit it.
Is the flip when he does pounce? That's a flip.
Yeah, definitely a flip. Then if he does die,
like
you just blame it on lag and DDoS.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, well, yeah, coming in here, BSJ is going to try and nuke this group wave down just a little bit. There's your wave D push. It's just a little bit of Dark Pact here. And I'm wondering when they're just going to bring in Yawar, honestly. I don't even think it'll be too early for that. He's got Slayer wrapped up mid.
Oh, it's the Night Stalker who TP's in. Double stun from Bulba. Loomdon taking a lot of damage here with the Vendetta hit. Bulba kills him off.
That's solo, right?
Dearie me.
You get full experience for that.
Oh, was Chen not in range? Yeah, you're right.
Nice.
Tragic stuff. Middle lane. Slayer. Hey, whoa. Hello. Hello?
Dies out.
I know he was low. I think he might have went in for the kill.
Well, Flame Guard is a lot of damage, but stick charges on changes. I wish he would just name himself back to Yawar, honestly.
There was only 260 damage done by DC. And yeah, he just came back in low. I think he thought he could get the pick off there, but now they're just continuing the zone up ESJ. This is like deja vu, man. It's exactly what happened before. Look at the net worth chart. It looks like they picked it up a little bit. There was a nice streak of about 4 Dire heroes, but a little bit of gold now coming the way of Sovereign as he rotates top. He really needs to get an early mechanism.
This Luna is now in a position where she can just 1v1 Darkseer, so they're going to move some more in here. Slayer as well as Loomdon looking for TC, but the Luna going to try and back up with slight chains. They should be able to catch the Luna and then come in with a stun, but the Eclipse turns it back around. TC, is your damage available? It is not quite to get the kill before dropping, but they'll try and continue through with BSJ now moving himself down towards his bottom lane. 1437, Yawar and AUI want to convert that one kill, and the rotation's in from enemy into a tier 1 tower on his bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, they aren't able to save the Luna, unfortunately. A little bit slow on the TPs. Obviously, you have to bring 3 heroes, or 2 more heroes in all of a sudden, so not a surprise, but it's just a free tower. And they just watched the Darkseer TP top too, so they already know that he might not be ready to hop his way back down bottom, and indeed he was not, so... Now they can just look to do the same thing. Mid lane, top lane, grab themselves a Roshan for TC, and keep the pain train rolling.
Yeah, kind of what they wanted in game number 1. They wanted this timing push to come in like 8-9 minutes with the DK Dragon form up, but this time they've got the Chen behind them. A level 6 Chen with that good old ulti, keeping people healthy, and you're right, it's like the 5-man convergence onto this bottom lane, looking for something.
Yeah, I was looking over Chen yesterday when I was prepping for some of these games, and he hasn't been picked all too much, as you can see, only the 13th match. 6.86 is they are going to catch out Slayer with the chain stuns.
No remnant.
Dead.
He is fully dead. Bulba with a spike carapace, perfectly timed there. Through that flame guard to keep him locked down. This is enemy now. They're on the back foot massively. They don't have any big items, whereas Digital Chaos, like, you've nearly got a blink on your Nyx. You've got 1700 gold on top of arcanes for your Chen. I guess mech is on the cards here. Unless you want to go straight into Aghanim Scepter. But I'm not sure. Like, AUI saving up a lot of gold, and I'm wondering what he heads into.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do they have... They don't have the mech yet, right? I assume that's just what you get, right?
That's what I assume as well. Well, in come the creeps. Holy crap, all of a sudden the creeps TP themselves in. Voodoo Restoration will get them back up to a nice, healthy amount of HP as they take down another tier 1. Where is BSJ right now? Where's the Slark? Down at bottom lane. Brown Boots Aquila. It's going to be the same as what we were talking about. It's going to have like Treads Aquila 13-14 minutes into this game.
Dire's top tower is under
Poor little
attack.
fishy man. The Dark Reef. Go back home.
This really is exactly what happened before. I mean, it's almost comical to see how like ridiculously similar it was to last time. I don't know. I will be very impressed to see what they want to bring out here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Slark has 38 CS. Not too many above the Chen right now, but he's been kicked off the lane, booted out as AUI, the one-man army with his Mod Golem being denied. Yeah, get the 2 little golems coming out as well so he can steal a catapult. Okay. Steal the catapult. Now push into towers. 1437's waiting in the Roche pit. I'm not sure they've got the
Dire's
damage
middle
or
tower is under attack.
the life. There's no lifesteal on Luna. And in fact, Luna doesn't have much to her name. Treads Aquila, Magic Wand. I guess
Yeah, it was kind of... She was like a little bit back and forth in the bottom lane. Kind of having to back off, scared of where the Night Stalker was. They weren't always showing, so... TC, known to be a little bit more conservative when it comes to his farming patterns, so I can understand him being a little bit under the gun here. Well, and he might feel pressured to get a little bit of farm, but his team's backing up so hard right now.
He got the dark packed off, and now he's going to be able to chase down Yawar here. The damage output's pretty good, and the Death Ward though from 1437 dropped onto Loomdon. The Vengeful Spirit is getting tickled by this, but AUI will clear up the kill, and now in comes Bulba. Carapace is there, stun, looks for it, but the Remnant dodge out, and Sovereign, he dropped the wall in between them all, but he's going to get taken out slowly but surely. Bulba chases with the Vendetta. Dragon Knight and the Witch Doctor already dead, but this cask, 1437, catches them both, keeps them locked in place. I'll get the Impale through the trees and onto the target. So a 2 for 2 there. But Enemy should be relatively happy with that.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, definitely pleased in the fact that they're going to be getting at least 2 out of that. And scrappy engagements will be the ones they're going to look for. So in the jungle, out of smokes, you know, a little bit of confusion. That's by far their best bet. This situation where they're pushing in the tower, no chance in hell. But if they need to keep that kind of stuff up and running, and now, of course, without 5 heroes here, this does at least become possible for them to win an engagement like this. If Slayer can hit up big chains.
It's so difficult with that many creeps around, though. With Centaurs and Dark Trolls. But we do see the Darkseer pick up his mech, so you've got that. Yeah, you've got the mech over on the Darkseer. No Arcanes, though. I did skip over those and just went for the Soul Ring into mech. Blink Arcanes on Nyx. TC. Yeah, he's going to go for the Helm of the Iron Will. He goes for the lifesteal there. Helps out with Roshan attempts with the Chen creeps you have, and Slayer. The Lawnmower begins. Iron Shell up on him with a Flame Guard in 3 seconds time. Maybe he'll start to look to chase down onto TC or Bulba or someone. So at the moment, BSJ is just trying to keep that gold income going. Get the Slark some items. With a DD rune, he might actually look for a kill up on top.
Double damage.
He could kill a DK potentially here. Looking for it. Dark Pact. Not going to pounce forward. The rest of Digital Chaos kind of disappeared off the map for a while. They show 2 mid. Nick's still hiding. And AUI's Chen down towards bottom lane. A TP up from Bulba's Nyx though. That's going to be the kicker. If they can kill BSJ here and convert again into another tier 1, so much gold will be going their way. And with a Blink Dagger on Dragon Knight. That's what Yawa wants.
BSJ
Initiation stun into Mana Burn. There we go. Chained into Oblivion. BSJ barely going to survive with the stick charges and the ultimate. He gets himself away and they don't secure. Close out on the kill. He also gets a tower deny behind all of that.
Well, I definitely like the idea behind the double blinks. I think that is how they should be able to bring down the Slark. I'm not sure. I'm very surprised that we're not able to get that damage. Perhaps it's simply because he's gone for this 3 points on the Spike Carapace. I guess is the big deal, right? Missing out on all that mana burn amplifier, which, I mean, even with the low int, it's still 43 int on the side of the Slark, so certainly nothing to scoff at. And definitely would have been a kill in that case, but we all know Carapace, it's pretty nice up against the Ember Spirit, pretty nice against many of these heroes, so... Well, BSC's gonna find Owie, but it'll TP.
That Night Stalker, though, if he had gone with the Slark, that would have been a really, really easy kill. Now AUI takes his creeps back. They managed to kill off a couple, actually. As the Dragon Knight gets the Ember Spirit mid, miss out on that one.
Well, that's slightly important, I suppose.
Is under attack.
So where's the creep wave? It is now incoming. And this is going to really help secure Roshan.
Yeah, DC are dragging enemy around the map a little bit here. But Slark is still farming. Like, okay, fair enough. 4 heroes from DC are up at the top of the net worth. Their lead is 6,000 or so. It's decent.
Regeneration.
But it feels like DC should be further ahead than they are.
They certainly seem to be taking a little bit slow and steady. It's possible that fight in the jungle might have worried them a bit, and then they also had the failed gank on BSJ, so they might be kind of questioning their own abilities and their own actual lead right now. They might be feeling like they're not that far ahead, and I mean, in a lot of senses, obviously they are, what, 7... It's essentially 6,000 gold up right now, 6,200. And a lot of that is stacked on top of Yawar. Like, you can see it's about 1,200 difference dropping out of him. Owie is so farmed right now, essentially tied with his Luna.
Yeah.
They just need to get one of these tier 2s and grab Roshan, and that's when I think the big split is going to occur. Oh, nice blink by Bulba.
He gets the D-ward, okay. That's what he's going for. Owie comes in with the Chen and Snare. Bulba, though, starts up. Finally, that nuke comes out of the Chen, kills off the Vengeful Spirit. Just need to convert now. Tier 2 bot, very low. It's going to be a pretty nice tower, maybe then to Roshan. Digital chaos.
And it's just a support, but that swap is one of the big tools they actually have, especially Knights on this tower, right? You get that swap to the trees. It's gonna be always so good, even if it's level 1. And they just don't have it, so there's no chance to set up. Not that it looks like they had any option here as BSJ is trying to cut top. I like that they're keeping the aggression up. As BSJ, he has TP. Frozen will come back too, so they'll have all 5 heroes here for the defense. And it's only level 1 Eclipse, so keep that in mind.
Swap the DK in, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. He just turns and fights with the Eclipse coming out of Luna. They've already killed 3. Healing through every bit of damage enemy throws at them. The buyback from Darkseer, I don't know what it's going to really accomplish. Remnants fly through from the Slayer, but the tier 3's dead. Rax probably falls straight afterwards as a Blink stun into the double impale from Bulba, catching 2, Slayer dead, down and out, and I think it's game over for Enemy here.
Man, I thought we were gonna get Armlet DK too. It's so good now, and he's got the gold. Oh, well. Yeah, this I said at the start, and I still stand by it. I think Slark was an awful pick. I just think, yeah, I understand you're really good at Slark, but I don't see how he fit into that laning stage at all. I don't know. I don't think they set up to win this in any sense of the word. But it's not over quite yet. They're not going to call it. They're not going to keep pushing without that tier 2 down. It's a massive hole right now.
Midas on the Nyx. Bulba securing late game. I guess the fact that there's 2 tier 2s still standing mid and top means, you know, DC can't go for a second laner axe. They can't really pile the pressure on any further. Roshan is now risky. It's 19 minutes in. Respawn time is here for Enemy. Still pretty low. You know, they respawn in a matter of seconds and get themselves back into this fight. So, Aghanim stepped up with a Chen. Once he starts getting these Ancients out, get the Ancient Granite Golem, get that percentage-based HP boost. 15%. That's pretty juicy on, you know, heroes like DK Luna who go for the stats.
Yeah, good luck.
DK.
Yep, very solid. Just wants to keep his HP nice and full most time. BSJ, I don't think he's in any real trouble here as a Slark. He can always just pounce into the trees. They do have the blink, so maybe? Okay, he might be in trouble. Range stun.
There's the Dragon Tail. And he just dogpile onto that BSJ Slark. TC. Terrific carry. Tyler Cook.
Oh, you know it.
4,000 gold in the bank. Does he need to spend his money? What's he going to buy?
Probably just Eagle Song
Reaver.
or something. Just go push.
He's going
Oh,
Aghanim.
really?
He's going Aghanim. Yes!
Really?
Yes! Yes!
TC, please.
Put it on the DK or the Nyx and just go. Just jump in and go.
It is super fun, I have to say. I've done it a couple games. It's pretty great. I had an Earth Spirit. I had him just like rolling in and casting eggs on him. It was pretty good. You get your Spirit Breakers doing it too. It's extremely fun. A little clowny because I'm pretty sure there's better items right now, but hey, they're going to give us a good time.
They were looking for the swap with the Vengeful Spirit, but Enemy, grouping up pretty nicely, cannot save their tier 2s at this point. You just want to stay high ground and wait it out a little bit. There it is. There it is. Ags on Luna. Allows Luna to cast Eclipse on an allied unit, or herself, and have its effects follow them. Or you can cast it in an area. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane.
Alright, here comes the Desperation Smoke attempt.
Try and walk themselves in.
Oh god, welcome to the Aghanims!
In you go, boys! Down you go, boys! See you later. 2 dead, BSJ stunned up, Death Ward down, and Slark is gone. Jumps high ground, stick charges up, he actually escapes there. By the skin of his teeth, but the rest of his team not so lucky.
Well, like you said, small respawn timers. They'll be back up here, swap ready in 7 seconds, the benefit of being level 7.
I mean, what packs?
Slayer? Slayer?
Wait, whoa, wow, where's this happening? What's going on? Ember Spirit buys back. Tier 3 is pretty much dead already. The vacuum onto Witch Doctor. Not a massive amount of damage being dealt here, but over on the back end, it's Yawa. It's in the middle of 4. Now he's pounced up, and he will die slowly but surely unless the heal, unless the send back comes through. He's back to Fountain. Oh my freaking god. AUI, what the hell have you been smoking to be able to play like that? Cinnamon crunch for breakfast. That's what it is.
That was just way too YOLO by Yawar. I understand that this game's getting a little bit clown. Like, he just bought Did he just buy? Who just bought Boots of Travel? Oh,
It was
he sold
DK.
them?
They sold it.
Yeah, he sold them. All right, good. That's like Mega Clown. They still have Roshan to grab, but you just bought Ags on your Luna. You need to actually shape up and win this game. Nice. 7 times out of 1,618 total Luna games. There you go. 85.7% win rate. And people only ever buy it seriously. Actually, remember those burning games? That was at Join Dota, wasn't it? You guys at your LAN or something like that? Not the last one, but the one before. He was going like mech Ags on Luna.
That was Star Ladder.
Star Ladder, was it? That was
Star Ladder
Accomplice.
10? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, he went like mech into stuff on the Luna.
Yeah, it was like Mech Ags Luna. That was some good stuff.
That was the good shit right there.
Back in the good old days of Dota 2.
Yeah, when Dota 2 was an actual video game.
Right, not just a hat simulator. Brother
Well,
of TF2.
Is it time to do Roshan yet, boys? TC says yes. Another 3,000 gold pretty much saved up for himself here. And he's got the item slot for Aegis if he wants it. Vlad's on 1437. Gem Axe on AUI, but okay. 23-minute Shadow Blade on your slot.
Dire's middle tower is
It's
under
only like
attack.
8 minutes late. We'll see how he does with it. He can still pick off these
Dire's
supports though, you know?
structures
Get on the
are
Witch Doctor,
fortified.
get on the Chen. It's not like they're super tanky, have a lot of armor. Nothing like that. They don't have heals in 8 or built into themselves.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Poor
Oh,
Slark.
luckily, yeah, we're a little bit too far away here. Can't quite get that stun off. They also can't lose Slayer. He is.
There's a
Great.
gem on Chen.
Alright, well, that happened.
Faith tested.
Oh, now, blinking forward. 1 second.
Loom done. Bulba has a blink.
Think
He's
that's
gonna-
a stun? I'll show you a stun.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle barracks
I think
is
it's
under
time
attack.
for the G's. Battle Fury
Is that
Ember
1
Spirit.
G or 2 Gs?
Pretty sure as many G's as enemy can really give out to Digital Chaos here. When the Ember Spirit just disappears, ceases to exist in what, half a
Radiant's middle
second?
barracks
I'm
has fallen.
pretty sure the game is over. Tier 3 dropping up at top, and there we go. The game is called 1-1. A draw between Enemy and Digital Chaos. And honestly, that was the result I expected.
Yeah, I don't see how. The only way you win this game as Enemy to me is if DC make massive mistakes on the push. And they did a couple at the end, like Yawar, he jumped in too deep. But at that point, it was just like so far gone. Maybe if that happened at the first, second, or third tower, possibly. But the laning setup there was just nothing. Like, you didn't abuse your Night Stalker at all. I don't even remember that hero being in the game. Did he silence anyone? Like, just could not get off the ground at all. And there was just no backbone to it. Like, Ember Spirit needs someone who can be up in the front doing stuff, not running away into the shadows like a Slark, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well played by Digital Chaos. Let's at least give it up to them. It's a solid strategy. They executed it well. Aoi Chen, always a pleasure to see, and played very well. And I think Bulba did a really good job on the Nyx Assassin, both in the lane and moving to the mid game. And that's something that a lot of teams can look towards to incorporate this hero into their own drafts as well. Maybe not just as the Darkseer counter.
For sure. We can actually bring up the grid for a little second here. So Complexity are up at the top. They've won 2 of their series. Digital Chaos, they've got themselves 1 draw. EnemyGG 1 draw and 1 draw, 1 win and 1 loss as they beat Leviathan last night and lost to Complexity. Leviathan, Elite Wolves down at the bottom there, but we'll see how Leviathan and Elite Wolves do in the next series, which should be coming up in about 45 minutes. It's scheduled for about 40 minutes from now, something like that. So we'll take a little break. Maybe we'll be back a little bit earlier, half an hour or so, to get yourselves into the Leviathan against Elite Wolves game. The bottom of the table, the battle begins between those 2 teams. Myself, Durka, my co-caster Moppax, and the wonderful woman on stats, Lurker, will be back soon to continue DotaPit Season 4, brought to you by G2A, here by Join Dota. Join Dota. Now you get to hear the little clarity noise.